With autism, a lot of sensory issues can happen with children, but it's not a necessary mandate. It's not that okay, if there is autism, there's got to be sensory issues. It's not like that. Where the child is feeling too much higher, that's hyper. Okay, so a bright light making the child go scream, a loud sound making the child go scream. That's hyper. So this is to help you understand the entire sensory gamut. If the lights overwhelm the child, just give dark shades, black warmers. Okay, even if at night, doesn't matter. Because we have to reduce the stimulus to the kid if the kid is feeling too much, and increase the stimulus to the kid if the kid is not feeling. Hello, Rajni here. Today's topic, autism and sensory issues. Now, with autism, a lot of sensory issues can happen with children, but it's not a necessary mandate. It's not that okay, if there is autism, there's got to be sensory issues. It's not like that. There can be times when children with autism may not have any sensory issues. That's also a possibility. But there are times when the child might have quite a lot of sensory issues. Very quickly, let's decode the whole thing. So there are 8 kinds of sensory troubles that the child can have. Visual, auditory, olfactory, which is the nose, your taste, then your touch. These are the 5 sense organs which we know external. Apart from this, proprioception, vestibular, interoception. Now, out of these 8, the child may have a combination of few of them, may have nothing, may have. I am yet to come across a kid that has had all 8 issues. It doesn't work that ways. Yeah. But there can be a combination. Next thing, sensory can come and go. Now, basically, a lot of parents don't understand, especially new parents, what does sensory mean in itself. It means, suppose the balance or the tip, the balance is 0. Okay, so balance is 0. Anything that goes negative is away from 0. Anything that goes positive is away from 0. Suppose 0 is stability. Okay, so understand it like this. A behavior will be hyper when it is more than 0. Now, there is no scale or matrix. This is for the sake of helping you understand. Now, if it is more than 0, it will be hyper, and if it is less than 0, it will be hypo. Right? In very layman terms for a parent to understand. Now, what does it mean to be 0? I am sitting here. I have lights here. I have some sounds here. But it's not freaking me out. The light is not physically painful. It's not, harming my retina. It is not causing me trouble, although it's a bright light. I'm at 0. Now, if I am hyper, what will happen? It will start impacting me more than what it should, because I'm away from 0. Anything where the child is freaking out, is shouting, for example, if there is a loud noise through the loudspeaker, or if there are disco lights, you go to a party and it's an absolute disaster. The disco lights are on, or the loudspeaker, a marriage party or something, and the child starts to shout, you don't know what to do. You have to run away from there. Now, that is not a psychologically driven behavior. That is not where you can do the antecedent behavior consequence. This is purely sensory. So, if the sound is to the decibel, for example, again, these are not pure metrics. This is for helping you understand. If the sound is, let's say, a decibel of 10, and it is comfortable to you, although it's loud, but still it's okay. To the child with a sensory disintegration and hyper, it will sound like 100. Imagine decibel of 100 in your ear shouting, you will start to scream. So that is where the sensory comes in. Now let's look at minus side. Minus means the child is not feeling it at all. That's the minus. For example, if there is interoception deficit, which means minus, child is not feeling hungry. Not that the body doesn't need nutrition, but the ghrelin-leptin combination in the brain is distorted for whatever reasons. With autism, sensory disintegration not there, integration not there, disintegration is there. Child is not feeling. Now, like in my son's case, he once came back home with a burnt shin. Okay, the backside of his leg, and it had touched somebody's silencer, and I screamed, "What happened?" And he said, "What?" And he looked down, and it's burnt. And there's a big boil blister over there. Chala bolte hain na Hindi mein. And he's like, "हाँ लग गई थी." I got hurt. Because it's not hurting him. Interoception deficit, lack of hunger, lack of pain. Okay, so that integration with the body is missing. That's hypo. Now, same thing if you take where the child is feeling too much higher, that's hyper. Okay, so a bright light making the child go scream, a loud sound making the child go scream. That's hyper. So, this is to help you understand the entire sensory gamut. Yeah, so in different areas now, like proprioception, if the child cannot hold the ball properly, ball will fall, or if the child will, there's visual or depth discrimination issues. Okay, which means the child is going down the stair and doesn't know how down to put their foot, and they'll be disbalanced, or they'll trip over one small step every time. Balancing issues. Yeah, so that is again sensory. Yeah, then a child doing this, like this, wants pressure. Yeah, that's hypo, pressure less, wants pressure. Hyper, you don't hug me, no, stay away. Yeah, even a slight touch, I'm uncomfortable. Hyper. So, like this, you have to understand where is your child having a hyper and where is your child having a hypo in terms of sensory. Also, sensory will come and go. It's not a permanent feature of life. You have to give the diet to bring it right back to zero. Yeah, if it's hyper, you have to reduce it. If it's hypo, you have to increase it. In as many words, while a professional occupational therapist is who you will need, whatever I'm telling you, and I'm saying this like a disclaimer, these are the things in addition to your occupational therapist to support him or her, you will do these at home. Yeah, so you're going to a party, use headphones. Yeah, don't think that, oh, what will it look like? No, all children do that these days. They use headphones. Yeah, so big headphones, even if it's not connected to music, nobody outside knows, but your child is protected from the sound. Yeah, also develop little sensitivity towards, but not too much. If it's too much and child cannot take it, just use measures to protect the child. Yeah, give them a nice hug, put them in the yoga mat, and you can hug them at home or use the ball, whichever way. Those things which you do at OT also you can do at home also for giving the pressure, but know where to do what. If the lights overwhelm the child, just give dark shades, black goggles. Okay, even if at night, doesn't matter. Because we have to reduce the stimulus to the kid if the kid is feeling too much, and increase the stimulus to the kid if the kid is not feeling so much. In so many simple terms. Every single thing cannot be attributed to sensory. Please don't do that. Yeah? Find out on the basis of what I told you if it's genuinely sensory or it is basically a behavior. If you liked the content, please give us a like, subscribe, share with whoever might benefit. Keep the notification bell pressed. We have realized that 80% of the people who see our videos are not subscribed. So if you are somebody who's seeing and not subscribed, take a minute and subscribe right now so that you don't miss any valuable input in times to come. Also, should you wish to learn more about autism, we do the Tuesday weekly live. Please feel free to join us. Instagram, YouTube English, YouTube Hindi. All the links are given in the description box below. And we do the Autism Masterclass where we help parents understand the child's condition Thursday or Friday, 7 to 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to tune in. All the links are there in the description. I shall see you another time with another video.